The program is brought to you by Eric Early for Congress 2020.
It's time, America, for the Eric Early Show.
I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe America is the shining city on a hill.
Eric Early is a successful businessman and attorney living in Los Angeles. Eric Early is now taking on the swamp in Washington, D.C. as a candidate for Congress against corrupt Congressman and career politician Adam Schiff.
Schiff walks around like he's this genius. He acts like this genius. He acts like he's smarter than all of us. And at the end of the day, he is a clown.
Eric Early is fearless, and his mission is to expose the underbelly of the beast.
Nancy Pelosi needs to be sent out into retirement also. She's probably about 20 years past her prime, quite frankly.
Get out of your comfort zone. You are about to be woke for the Eric Early Show, coast to coast and house to house. Now, here's your host, Eric Early.
Hey folks, September 12th, 2020, I'm Eric Early, and this is the Early Report. And we're reporting from the belly of the beast in Los Angeles, California. I'm here with my special guest again, Kent Emmons.
Up in the house.
Up in the house.
Feeling woke with Eric Early. I'm woke up.
It's great having Kent with me. It's great having this woke guy here with me. And, a lot going on out there in the greatest country that God ever created, America, where we got communists coming out of the woodwork. They call themselves socialists. They're happy to call themselves socialists. And they're trying to take over this country. We're never going to let that happen. But these people on the other side, they're relentless. They are relentless. They're sick. They're twisted, and they're relentless. And if you look at the oaths that congressmen, women, and senators take, it's along the lines of we will protect the country from enemies foreign and domestic. I never focused on those words and domestic until the last year or so. We have enemies, domestic enemies, and we got to eradicate them. And that's the story. So we got a lot going on. The first thing I want to talk about today, before I get in it, as you heard in the opening, I'm running against the worst congressman of our lifetime. His name is Adam Schiff. He is a liar. He's a leaker. He's demented, frankly. And there's something very wrong with that guy, and we need to get him out of government. We've got just a building momentum for our campaign. The way my district is drawn up by the Democrats, they make it very hard for Republicans to win. So the percentage of Democrat voters is high in our district, but we are doing our best now to reach out to what I call the more moderate Democrats, and of course all the independents, because the moderate Democrats I know, just like the Republicans I know, don't support these savages on the streets, do support, like I do, law enforcement, and support law and order. So they're seeing what's going on. We're getting more and more momentum and attention from them. If we can get a sizable number of moderate Democrats and all those independents out there, along with all the great Republicans, this sucker could be won, Kent.
It can be. And again, this really, when you take a look at the district, this is no longer a Republican-Democrat thing. You take a look at the shape of the district. You have two things going on here. One, the shape of the district. It's not a Republican-Democrat thing. The people are looking at the district going, I don't care what the politics are. We're in serious trouble. And on a national level, they see this thing as Schiff as being an absolute nuisance. Even on the Democratic side, they see him as being a nuisance. That's why you're getting so much support, and so many are jumping on EricEarly.com and supporting you.
Yeah, I think nuisance is putting it mildly, frankly. Listen, I know the Republicans in D.C. can't stand him. I can't stand him. And I suspect there are many Democrats in that swamp over there that can't stand Schiff either. They know he's demented. They know he's a lying SOB. And they probably can't trust a word they tell him either. And so they probably don't. Anyhow, Kent, we'll be back after the break in a few seconds. The campaign website is www.ericearly.com. I need your support, folks. See you in a few.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Eric Early, we're back. Like I say, and many of you have seen our program before, and thank you for coming back and watching again. I'm not a politician. Don't need this politics in my life, but I love our country and what we're seeing going on in our country right now and what we really see going on in California. We need to step up. The silent majority is stepping up. We're waking up, and we need to put down this rebellion that we're seeing between our borders. And that's why I run, man. That's why we're in this thing. So, in California right now, just to a lot of you great folks out there, I know you're in various parts of the country. And I know because I read and I hear and I talk and I listen, people all around the country are looking at California and saying, what happened? What's wrong with the people here? What are we going to do about it? How are we ever going to get it back? And what I will say is, living here and having campaigned now up and down the state and knowing so many people, I'll tell you this, folks, and you will never hear what I'm about to say on the mainstream media because they want you to believe the myth that California's gone and somehow the people out here love what's going on out here. We have millions of conservatives in this state. Our state is a beautiful state, of course. But we have millions of conservatives, millions of Trump supporters in this state. I've got huge amounts of support. You just never hear about this out there. And I firmly believe that the worm is going to turn. More and more people like us are in this state of California who are getting pissed off by what's going on. And more and more people are seeing the damage and destruction. We have this blanket of mainstream media out here that's trying to keep everybody down, make everybody think it's all great and hunky-dory, and that these pathetic, quote-unquote, leaders like this empty suit, Gavin Newsom.
These
like
are not
this
leaders.
kneeler.
These are placeholders.
Exactly.
You need to, they are not leaders.
Exactly.
If they were leaders, we wouldn't be in this mess.
We are in a leaderless
Let's
state.
call them placeholders from now on. That's all they are.
I call them, pampered little children. They're not leaders.
True.
They're pathetic worms. This mayor out here, Garcetti,
Oof.
Schiff, just, as bad as they come. People are figuring it out here, folks. So wherever you are in America, just know that we are, lots of us have been aware of this for a while, but more and more people are waking up to it. And the way they've failed us on COVID out here and how they've handled stuff out here has just, put whatever in the wound even more. People are figuring it out. We have these fires that you're seeing out here right now as we speak. You go outside here right from this studio, you smell smoke in the air everywhere.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually thick as can be.
Yeah. These fires are everywhere. What caused them? This is what caused them. We've known this for years. There's something called forest management. There's dead wood, dead kindling, dead everything throughout our national forests, throughout our forests. Several years ago, the Democrats in the Politburo in Sacramento, and I call it the Politburo because it's been one-party rule forever. It's just like, you might as well be in communist China over here right now. They stopped the program of clearing the forests because that supposedly was not environmentally friendly. They said the forests can clear themselves. Well, that's all fine and good if you don't care about the forest burning down. So all of this kindling that's been building up by the tons in these forests has done has created the fuel for these fires. And this is what we're seeing more and more, folks, and it's starting to seep through to the people who don't follow this stuff more. We need people in power in this state that immediately have a massive program to get rid of all of this dead wood, clearing our forests, doing whatever it takes to prevent these fires from coming back. Taxes are out of control. We have some of the highest taxes in the nation, and yet we have one of the worst education systems in the nation. You know, their businesses are running. You've heard about this thing called AB5, where they're killing hundreds of thousands of independent contractor jobs because they want the independent contractors to be forced to pay in tens of millions of dollars to the unions that own the Democrats up in Sacramento.
But Eric, in all fairness, one thing Newsom has done, and he has done very, very well, is he has ignited a growth industry of homeless people coming out here. It's huge. Man. We're attracting more homeless. We're getting more homeless, and they're not being taken care of. So you got to give him credit for growing the homeless population.
Yeah, he does, and we should give Newsom credit for that.
I think so.
You know,
look, it started in San Francisco.
It did, and you know we have 66,000 in L.A. County
right here.
now.
Right here.
My opponent, Schiff, never says a word about it. And as Kent knows, when Schiff started in office in this job he has 20 years ago, we didn't have any homeless problem. Oh, yeah, of course you have some homeless living on the streets.
Not many back then.
No.
Not many.
66,000, folks. It's hard for people to it's hard for us to wrap our brains around that.
Listen,
everywhere you go, there's 10 cities everywhere.
Yeah. It's gotten so populated now and so popular that they're actually time-sharing tents right outside the studio. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, and Kent, you're probably one of the landlords.
Absolutely.
Because, you know.
I just went to Bass Pro, bought every tent they had.
That's what this guy's all about.
I'd like
here.
you to take a 90-minute tour of my
Talk about
tent
evil.
And sell you a week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to know what you're making off of that. But, you know, thankfully the laws are preventing you from evicting them now. But listen, it's a terrible problem out here, this homelessness problem. I actually have a plan to deal with it. I'll go into it right now. You know, there are laws that say that homeless people, if they don't have a place to live, can live on a street. That's their right, according to the laws that the country is working under right now. However, I've studied how other states and other jurisdictions have dealt with that same body of law. And, for example, there was something in Utah. It used to be called Project Rio Grande. And what we need to do is follow the Project Rio Grande model. We unshackle our law enforcement. We say you can start picking people up off the streets. We start saying you can start picking people up immediately off the streets. A lot of these people are not going to want to leave. But it's time we have to start doing forcibly picking them up and taking them. And what we have is we have vacant federal and state lands all around the state of California. We have vacant structures on these vacant lands all around the state of California. We can spruce up these structures. We need to give each of these people a roof over their head. Doesn't need to be beautiful. Make sure they have heat. So many of these folks are severely mentally ill. The great majority of severely mentally ill, put them on properties where there is severe mental illness help. It needs to be a public-private partnership to start this stuff because our government is so broke. The folks with the drug problems, same thing. Put them in the homes or in the shelters on vacant land where they can get the help. And for the small majority of folks who unfortunately cannot afford housing, who don't have these problems, we have to separate them out from all these people anyhow and put them in a separate area. At the same time, when I'm in D.C., I want to start working on rebuilding our nation's mental health care system from the ground up. It was decimated starting in the 60s. We need an entire mental health care structure again, a public-private partnership. But you got to start with a congressman who actually cares about this stuff. And nobody in California could give a damn about it. They're all talking about it. Nothing's happening. And when we come back from the break, I'll tell you how we take people off the streets forcibly, even under that body of law that I was talking about. In any event, folks, go to www.ericearly.com. Read more about me. I need your support. Kent and I will be back right after this break.
You experiencing pain? Back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain? Pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Schiff, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drshepps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Schiff developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Schiff has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Schiff at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drshepps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. My dear friends, today things are so confusing. It's enough to boggle the mind. That's why it's vitally important. In fact, it's an absolute imperative that you indulge in brain food, provided by the noted Institute of Good Times and Great Yum Yums, Columbo's. Just come on down. Columbo's provides the remedies and elixirs, such as mouth-watering steaks, incredibly edible seafood, Columbo's family secret Italian specialties, and the pièce de resistance, the world's greatest meatballs. Imagine margaritas on the Columbo's patio, cerveza and other liquid refreshments, or take your pick and bring it all back home and enjoy the great indoors. Columbo's, saving the world from gloom and doom with great grub and glee. Happy, happy, happy Columbo's. Mangia bene.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1597. 800-932-1597. 800-932-1597. That's 800-932-1597.
Thanks for coming back, folks. I'm Eric Early. I'm running against Adam Schiff for Congress. We need your support. We have this incredible grassroots campaign going on. We're getting support from all around America, patriots all around America who cannot stand Adam Schiff. Go to www.ericearly.com. It shows you how to donate right there online. You can leave messages for me. I read all your messages. All your support is what we're using now to start. We've started putting up these great billboards. The TV commercials are coming to a theater near you soon. Actually, not a theater, but a TV screen near you if you live in the district.
Would be a theater.
Soon.
Nothing's open here, though. So
that's true. That is true. That is Mr. Newsom. And you know, I'll get back into that lockup in a second because I need to give some kudos to this lunatic. But Dr. Barbara Ferrar, I'll get to her in a bit. But we need your support, folks. And if you want to volunteer, we have hundreds of volunteers now. You can make calls from anywhere in America on this software program we have. Doesn't cost you anything. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. We give you the phone numbers of voters in the district to talk to about voting for me, for voting for Eric Early against Schiff. It's free of charge for you. Your phone information is not seen by any of the recipients. We'd love your support.
Eric,
yeah.
Last segment you were talking about the homeless situation, and I wanted to point something out. there is, again, in the last 20 years since Schiff has been in office, especially in your district, it has gotten so bad, people can't even walk down the street. I mean, it's really bad. And a lot of these homeless people are veterans. They're people that have served their country. These are people that need our help. You threw out a solution that's a great solution, and you're the only one that I've seen out there right now throwing out a solution that leads with taking care of the people.
Yeah.
In other words, you lead with actually taking. Listen, if we take care of the people, everything else takes care of itself. There's been no other solution like that where you're coming out of the box saying we take care of these people first.
We got to take care of them. Folks, it's bad out there. You know, I was just talking about the heat we've been living out here in the last few days. It's been from 80 to 115 degrees. These people living in tents in that heat. And on. When it's raining, they're living in the rain. When it's cold in the winter.
I don't like to interject that often because you guys are great. But
Mike, we want you interjecting.
I have something to say. And I'm saying this as somebody who's a centrist Democrat who voted for Obama twice.
Oh.
I know, yeah.
Can you turn off the show?
Don't believe I'd have told that one, brother.
Whoa. Can we get another producer in here?
But last Saturday, gentlemen, last Saturday, it was 121 degrees in my neighborhood in Highland Park, which is in Adam Schiff's district.
Yep.
121 degrees. There was massive wildfires, massive power outages. 24,000 customers in my neighborhood lost power. And so I went to Pasadena, another part of Adam Schiff's district, and it was smoky. It was hot. There was homeless people right under the 210. Go into my mom's house, turn on the TV. What's on TV on MSNBC? Adam Schiff talking about the Russia hoax once again. Yeah. On one of the worst days for heat, for air quality, for those poor people out there on the streets without any place to go, and no cooling centers were open because of COVID. And Adam Schiff's up there on TV from his Maryland townhouse or whatever on Zoom, chalking it up about the Russia hoax. And so if there's any people on the fence about there, anybody is, independents or centrist Democrats who really care about the district, Eric Early is somebody that actually cares about the district.
My man,
and
right here.
And it doesn't care about being on MSNBC and building his own personal brand and rant.
Love it, Mike.
That said it all right there.
It does.
Thank
you,
Mike.
Really does. And the fact that Adam Schiff could sit there and watch these people for 20 years
Adam Schiff doesn't give a damn about the people in our district. That is the central focus of our campaign. We have so many huge issues, and that demented psycho is back in the swamp dreaming up hoaxes and getting on MSNBC. He doesn't care about what we're talking about here.
And by the way, this is one of the most powerful people in the House of Representatives who has billions of dollars at his disposal to bring back and solve the problems in this district. And you go to the district, he's bringing back nothing. He focuses on getting on television all day long. That's all he cares about. He does nothing for the district.
20 years of that, folks.
And the district has gone to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, we have that whole group of people on the far left who hate President Trump, so they think Schiff walks on water. I've got a lot of them in my district. There's nothing I can do about them, but we have all kinds of other people that are starting to that have realized, wait a second, this guy does nothing for us.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, when he comes up with his hoaxes, they never pan out anyhow.
Listen, people can hate President Trump all they want. It makes no difference. The proof is in the pudding and what's going on in the district. And what was a great district 20 years ago has turned into an absolute war zone.
Yeah.
So you can hate the president, but we need to bring that money. We need to bring solve problems back here on a district level.
Yeah, and we got to solve our ongoing rise in crime. Big issue for me. Schiff is a defunder. I support law enforcement big time. Anyhow, folks, we'll be right back after this next break. Check me out, www.ericearly.com.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Does your partner listen to radio in bed and keep you awake? Featured in a Wall Street Journal's gift guide, the Soft Speaker 3 Amplified Pillow Speaker by C. Crane is the perfect gift for your late-night radio listening loved one. They can drift off to sleep while listening to their favorite radio station, audiobook, or podcast without disturbing others. C. Crane's Amplified Pillow Speaker is one of the few audio devices you can snuggle with and enjoy some of the finest audio quality available. It fits in your hand, it's soft for maximum comfort, it can be adjusted for voice clarity or full range music. It's 3 times louder and clearer than a regular pillow speaker. C. Crane has been building exceptional pillow speakers with full clear audio for a long time. They've made thousands of people happy and saved countless marriages. Call C. Crane now to order the Soft Speaker 3 Amplified Pillow Speaker at 800-522-8863. That's 800-522-8863, or visit them online at ccrane.com.
As a business owner, when was the last time you asked yourself if you have the right commercial insurance coverage? You need business insurance to protect everything you're building. One disaster without the right insurance could hurt your business, and larger deals you're trying to close may require that you have it. We recommend CoverWallet for all your business insurance needs. In just 2 minutes with their award-winning technology, they can offer you free competitive quotes from top insurance carriers nationwide. CoverWallet has helped tens of thousands of businesses, startups, restaurants, truckers, construction companies, landscaping companies, beauty salons, consultants, and they can help you. No business is too big or too small, and it's a free call to find out. Protect your business. Get the right insurance for your business. Call CoverWallet right now.
800-220-7612. 800-220-7612. That's 800-220-7612.
So we were talking earlier in the show about the need, I believe it's mandatory, to rebuild our nation's mental health care system from the ground up. Starting in the 1960s, when we had huge mental health care facilities. They were called mental institutions. It was a derogatory name, and the movies made it look like what went on in those things were horror shows. And that helped lead to, by the way, the destruction of it. They thought, the government, this was during the Kennedy era when it started, Camelot, they thought they could come up with these small little neighborhood-based facilities, and between that and the wonder drugs of Big Pharma, they could take care of this. Well, the small neighborhood facilities never materialized. The drugs from Big Pharma have been used to turn so many of these folks who have no place to go now into walking time bomb zombies. And I'm not talking about, what one would call, household mental illness or something, limited depression, things like that. If you've ever known somebody that was severely mentally ill, somebody, for example, with severe bipolar issues, and unfortunately I have, And people around our great country either know somebody in their families or have friends that have somebody in their family. There's nothing you can do with these folks. There's no place that you can get them help. You're left, each family is left to fend for themselves. These people literally do destroy families in many instances. And all you can do is dose them with drugs, and they're walking, ticking time bombs. If you're lucky, you can get a 72-hour hold. It's called a 5150 from law enforcement, and they're kept in a facility for 72 hours. They're back on the streets. In California, the largest mental health care systems are the prisons, and they're not set up for that. Our jailers, our wardens are not set up to take care of this stuff. What I want to do when I get to D.C., something Adam Schiff couldn't care less about, of course, among so many other things, I want to get the experts together. I want to figure out how we do a public-private partnership. We need that public money in there. I mean, that private money in there. The taxpayer money is hurting even more so now than ever before. Private business, public-private partnership, we need to start rebuilding it from the ground up. Mike, what do you say about that?
Yeah, this is something that Schiff never talks about, and that's a fantastic idea as well. And I think one of the lessons, too, to be learned is about this horrible proposition we have here in California that passed 10 years ago, Prop 36. Prop 36, what it does is it pretty much decriminalizes drugs in a sense where your first-time drug conviction, low-level drug conviction, you're automatically sent to rehab, and that's it. And that's paid for by the public. And what that did is that siphoned off all this money that could be used for mental health for all these really sketchy and oftentimes corrupt private rehabs that take state money.
They're totally, so many of them are corrupt. And you know, listen, folks, you don't need to be a psychiatrist to know. Walk through Skid Row here, walk through the homeless encampments to know that most of these people are severely mentally ill, which goes to another issue. These knuckleheads like the empty suit Newsom, like this, Garcetti, who's just a worm, our mayor out here, and these others. They claim they can build these beautiful condos for the homeless and give them the key and life will be all good. First of all, the money that they tax us into oblivion for to build those condos has all disappeared into the system, as it always does when they tax us like that. But you can't give these people the keys to their condo. They can't take care of themselves.
Well, let's start with this. Let's start with what the average cost of those condos are. $700,000 each.
Yeah. You can't listen. Unfortunately, and folks, all you got to do is take a walk through these homeless encampments. You can't give these people the keys to a condo, even if that was a proper solution. It's not. So, it's a huge problem. But, where it all starts is it starts with elected officials, right, who actually care, who care about getting help for these people. And it's not just for the people on the street. It's for all of our communities, all of our neighborhoods, as Kent likes to say. Because these folks, you drive around our district right now, there are homeless encampments piling up in neighborhoods, in front of businesses, all over the place. Emerald and I were driving down the street on Sunset Boulevard 3 days ago. There is literally a naked woman, completely naked, walking down the street on Sunset Boulevard.
And this is not in front of Deja Vu.
Past houses, no. Not in front of the places where Kent Emmons hangs out. Okay? So we got a lot of work to do, but we got to start with elected officials who actually care. We need people like me who come out of the private sector, who've had a great life in the private sector. We've had success in the private sector. Bring our experience. Bring our common sense into this swamp back east.
And do this. When you're thinking about who you're going to vote for, who you're going to support, you have two types of people on the ballot. You have public servants, people who want to serve the public and do what's right and take care of their neighborhood, take care of their district, take care of their state, take care of their country. You have that. And you have professional politicians. They're there just to climb the ladder. And when you're evaluating who you're going to vote for, look at that. Are they professional politician? Are they public servant? Are they there to serve the public?
And speaking of that, as everybody watching this knows, one of public enemy number one in that regard is a professional political hack is Adam Schiff. He's now trying to do this latest Russia something, supposedly another whistleblower Schiff probably knows the guy personally, has now come out and said the Trump administration is trying to keep information about Russia interference from coming out, interference in the election. Schiff comes out with a statement. He says he's going to have hearings because he wants to make sure that politicization of America's intelligence does not continue. Meanwhile, nobody politicizes our nation's top secrets more than Adam Schiff. In fact, in our history of America, there's probably been very few people who have politicized our nation's deepest secrets other than Adam Schiff for political purposes to use against Republicans. He falsely portrays information constantly. We'll get back into this after the break. Schiff is now again trying to make it look like the Russians are trying to help President Trump win. I will get into why that is a totally false narrative. And by doing so, Schiff is again interfering with our election. Because if he has this hearing he wants to have, he's doing it for the purpose of affecting our election. Vladimir Putin probably is dancing in the streets when he sees this psychopath Schiff at work. Anyhow, we'll be going back, I think, into the last segment of the show. No, second to last segment of the show, thankfully. After this break, www.ericearly.com.
California, the Golden State. We used to be a shining example of hope and possibility, where imagination and drive could make dreams come true. Decades of bad policy left us vulnerable. Lying politicians promised everything and delivered nothing but high taxes and job-killing regulations. Politicians like Adam Schiff spent years pushing fraudulent hoaxes that distracted our leaders and threatened our democracy. That was politics as usual. Then came the pandemic. Now with millions unemployed and an economy in shambles, we must do better.
My name is Eric Early, and I'm running against politics as usual. I'm running to help rescue our economy and rebuild from the ashes of COVID-19. I'm running to bring job creators, workers, and all Americans together. I'm running against Adam Schiff to bring back the California dream. I'm Eric Early, and I approve this message.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
So Schiff is at it again, his latest hoax, and by this latest hoax, he is directly interfering in our election. And what I mean by that is he has threatened to call in the whistleblower, whatever, about what I just discussed before the break. He's doing that right as the votes start getting placed by the voters all around America. He's doing that to interfere in our election, to try and swing the vote for a man who I don't think can even tie his shoelaces, named Joe Biden. But what he is also doing, Schiff, is totally politicizing our nation's top secret information. You know, I read a lot, and I've seen the statements of what the intelligence is showing. I've seen it in different places from things I've read, and what the intelligence is showing with respect to interference in our upcoming election. Russia definitely interfering, but is not interfering to help one presidential candidate or another. In fact, that's what the intelligence showed, notwithstanding the lies that came from the mainstream media, with the last presidential election. And in fact, there was a witness, a never-Trumper witness at Schiff's sham impeachment hearing. I forgot her name, an expert in that area. She said what Russia tries to do is undermine Americans' belief in any president that gets elected. They want to undermine our belief in the strength of our elections and in whoever the president is that gets elected. Schiff the liar is trying to turn that into Russians trying to help President Trump. But what the intelligence is also showing is that the communist Chinese is a much bigger and greater concern in terms of interfering with this year's presidential election, and that there is no doubt that the communist Chinese want to do everything possible to get Donald Trump out of office. They're absolutely favoring Joe Biden, and it's obvious why. Because Donald Trump is our first president in decades to finally take on the communist Chinese. Joe Biden, on the other hand, has kissed up to the communist Chinese and given them the keys to our kingdom for his 40 years in office.
Well, there's been this thing going on for so many years where so many politicians and so many of the puppet masters of the politicians have made so much money off of China. China's just been kept quiet for a long, long time. And Trump, recognizing that they're really stealing everything we have, called them out. And it's really it's been an earthquake in D.C.
Read a book, folks, if you ever get a chance. It's called The 100-Year Marathon. You can get it on Amazon. It's written by a Chinese American guy, but a Chinese scholar on Chinese government, how they work, how they've been working us and working us over for 4 or 5 decades now, and how they are intent. They will use any method necessary to become the world's greatest superpower militarily and economically. I have no doubt at this point, from everything I've seen, that they dropped this COVID on us on purpose. I have said in the past what I would do with the communist Chinese and what I think we should do with them. I don't know if I'll be going into that today. But the main thing is for purposes of today, Schiff is now focusing on this latest hoax to completely deflect what I just said. And what the intelligence shows is that the communist Chinese are a danger to the republic, are interfering big time, as are the mullahs in Iran, by the way, and are doing whatever they can to get Joe Biden elected. So Schiff, from his pedestal as head of House Intelligence Committee, is trying to change that narrative again, and by half-truths and lies and not giving us all the information, and by focusing on this latest Russia hoax, he is trying to make it look like foreign enemies are trying to help the president, when in fact they're trying to help Biden. This Schiff is a danger to the republic. He is evil. What he is doing and what he is now doing again, this is an evil guy, and we got to get him out of office. And this is what's going on with that. Let me get back to the lockup in California here. In Los Angeles, you still cannot eat in a restaurant, whether you're socially distanced or not, inside. You can eat at the outdoor patios. I've got a very good friend, a very close friend of mine, has a great restaurant. It's a family-owned restaurant. They built it up through, blood, sweat, and tears. Very successful restaurant. They don't have enough space outside because of the streets where the restaurant is. They could put a few tables out there, but they need more tables inside. They're located in Los Angeles. They're having to work underneath this order, and they are on the verge of going out of business. And it's a terrible thing to watch. This was a hugely successful restaurant, and this is going on around our state. And these people running our state don't give a damn about businesses. They don't know anything about businesses. They don't give a damn about all the jobs they've caused to be lost. We should have opened this state with social distancing, just like Georgia did at the beginning of May.
Listen, it all comes down to, Newsom, his whole thing is to keep unrest going on. I don't know if you read the Babylon Bee or not, but I love this headline last week in the Babylon Bee. Gavin Newsom says California will stay on lockdown until scientists discover a cure for death. Yeah. Which is about true. I mean, for him, it creates a lot of political.
Just a sick little pretty boy, man. And that's what he is. And by the way, Mike, he's getting his hair done somewhere. You can't get your hair done in the state of California. That guy's going out and getting his hair done somewhere. What's up with that, Mike? All right, this is the.
Speaking of hair,
I've referred to this one before. This is Dr. Barbara Farrar. If you could see this picture closer, she looks like the crypt keeper. This woman needs sunlight badly. She's not a medical doctor. She's got a PhD, which means she wrote a lot of long papers, read a lot of books. She's the one calling the shots here in L.A. County, L.A. City on the Lockup. She's as far left as they come, community organizer type. She's kept us locked down. She is a disaster. She should be imprisoned at this point.
And she runs the whole health system here in L.A. County.
Folks, will be coming back right after these messages. www.ericearly.com.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. Call right now. 888-912-1332.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master plan destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Newsflash, the president has changed the tax laws, and now you may be able to pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, the tax doctor can help you pay the IRS as little as possible allowed by law. There are new tax laws for business owners, the self-employed, even W-2 workers. If you have a back tax problem or a few years of unfilled returns, new help to save you money is now here. Call right now to see how the new tax laws can help you. Plus, right now, we'll waive the consultation fee and give you a free tax savings report. Attention business owners, the self-employed, and W-2 workers. Make this free call to the tax doctor now and learn how to take advantage of the new tax laws that may help you pay the IRS less. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. That's 800-985-1610.
Final segment, folks. So, yeah, we're talking a bit here about this crypt keeper. She should be incarcerated by now.
Let me bring that up a little closer to the camera.
Okay.
Mike, can you get that?
Yeah, that's her. Can you get that in there? There she is. She is, make it even, yeah. Anyhow, listen, they're following her around on a leash. If you look at her resume, this is a community organizer. She makes Obama look like he was conservative. This is the one who's been calling the shots for these worms like the Garcettis. The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors keep everything locked down. She wouldn't know within a million years how to run a business. She wouldn't know anything about, what it takes to keep people employed. And she apparently doesn't care less about people losing their jobs or all these people going under. And I've pussyfooted around her for a while, but I'm just tired of her. What we're dealing with out here, at a minimum, Our restaurants in L.A. here can be opening indoors, too, with proper social distancing. You know, Kent, you and I, we've been living our lives, you know, but so many people have been scared into submission by this kind of crazy thing. And this article here, which just came out, talks about how there's been an ongoing pattern of singling out Christians and Jews, harassing churches and synagogues, while making no mention of the mass Black Lives Matter rallies or having to say anything about mosques. And then it talks about here, for example, a California church challenged local coronavirus restrictions on worship services, and county authorities responded by canceling the church's 5-decade-old lease. This is what we're dealing with out here, man. Yep. And it's got to stop, all right? We got a handle on this thing. I understand when this thing first came out on us back in March, nobody knew what to expect. We know what to expect now. We know how we can live. We know what we can do. We know when we need to wear a mask and not wear a mask. We know we can go to restaurants. We know we can go to movies. We know we can live our lives. And these people have just destroyed so many people's lives and businesses, not to mention the depression that's on the rise, the suicide that's on the rise, the spousal abuse that's on the rise. It's all coming from these far left crazies.
And let me tell you something. The real danger here with someone like this is what political environment, how bad does a political environment have to be for someone like this to get appointed to a position of running the entire healthcare system for the county of Los Angeles? How bad does it have to get?
It's pretty bad. So, Kent, speaking about bad, let's talk about our vice presidential candidate named Kamala Harris. Talk about bad.
God.
How did she get to where she is, buddy?
Well, she started on her knees with Willie Brown. Yeah. I mean, and this is, you know, as controversial as that may sound, I mean, she literally was kind of a nobody up in San Francisco and up in the north, the Bay Area. Willie Brown was the Speaker of the Assembly and was the former mayor of San Francisco, and they started having sex, and he appointed her to a position.
And he was married, and everybody up there knew it, and he'd be going out to restaurants with Kamala Harris on his arm, where everybody knew, including Kamala Harris, that he was married. She was flaunting their affair in front of everybody. She is the social climber of social climbers. She's terrible. She's evil. She's got that cackly, giggly laugh, but when she starts talking, she becomes very much a dislikable figure, and I think once America gets to know her, they will realize what kind of trouble she is.
Well, it's interesting. You got Willie Brown running state politics, really, for all, you know, lack of practical. I mean, that really is. He was running state politics. Having sex with her, it's no different than the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton thing, where you've got someone like that. Matter of fact, had, you know, given this circumstances, if Ken Starr would have been a little more genteel, we may have Monica Lewinsky as vice president right now.
Oh, man.
You never know. I mean, this is just an unbelievable thing.
Of the show today, folks. Thank you so much for joining. As I always say, America is the greatest country that God ever created. I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe, like former President Reagan used to say, we are the shining city on a hill. But we can lose it all in one generation. We're fighting forces internally in our country now, domestic forces. We will win this battle, I have no doubt. But it's time for the great and good people of America to join in that battle. God bless you. God bless America. Talk to you next week.